interesting Q&A segment on Home Truth Nigeria. Today, we will be answering some questions on episode 11 on our Q&A. So, I would like to answer about 3 or 4 questions I've been asked, and as always, to pass my opinion. And if you like, we can discuss further on this topic on the comment section. So, for those of you who want to ask me questions, you want to reach out to me to share your stories, to get my own input or opinion, you can reach me on hometruth86 at gmail.com. So, let's don't waste so much time here. Let's go to the first question. So, a lady asks, do Nigerian men propose just within 1 month of meeting you? This is a very nice question. I've answered this question before, but I would love to throw a little bit of light to this answer. So I would say yes and no. Now, there are 3 possibilities for this instance. Now, if you meet a Nigerian man online and you've never met him physically before, but what I mean is that you guys are talking consistently on phone and all of this video call, and then he proposes to you and he's trying to push you to come down to Nigeria to marry him, then this is certainly a scam. It's not real. So if this is happening to you, please run. Now, on the other hand, if you meet a Nigerian physically, like you can see yourself, or probably you guys stay or live in the same country. And after 1 month of dating, he says he would like to marry you. This is a statement a lot of Nigerians, they can make such statements. So a lot of Nigerians can tell you that, well, I would really love to marry you. Just 1 month after dating you, and sometimes you're thrown aback by this. But this is one way of the Nigerian man, trying to, you know, pass his intention, towards you, to make you understand that okay, what he thinks about you is not just to come here and and waste your time, but he's looking on the long run that there's a possibility that he's going to marry you. So this is possible. A lot of Nigerian men, say it. At the same time, I will need you to be very careful with some of these statements because there are a lot of men who say this just to keep you committed to them so they can benefit from you either through cash or kind, if you understand what that means. Now, also, if you meet any Nigerian physically and immediately within that short space of time, he is pushing to marry you, like you met him within 1 month and he's pushing to marry you, like he's ready, to take you to the altar. You need to think really deep about this. There's times where such things could happen, but it is not the normal thing to happen. So I hope this answers your question. The second question is, I discovered he has another private Facebook page. Should I confront him? No, you don't need to confront him. You just apologize to him, buy him something, and apologize for snooping or trying to pry into his privacy to discover that he has a private Facebook page. Of course, you have to confront him. That's the right thing to do. You need to confront him and make him know that you're not stupid. And then it doesn't just stop at confrontation. You need to give him 2 options. One is you want to see what is going on that Facebook page that made him to hide it from you. You want to know what is going on there. And if he doesn't let you in, then you need to give him the second option that if he doesn't let you in, then he risks the chance of losing you. So he has to, be in a between and betwixt, position to know if he's going to trade his relationship off over not allowing you into or getting access into the Facebook page. I hope this answers your question. And then another question is, after 5 months of dating, he wants to take me home to meet his family. Are we moving too fast? So you're not moving too fast. This is very common in Nigeria. Now, you see, there are different ways Nigerian men see marriage. Some Nigerian men can marry you while still getting to know you. These are the kind of guys who believe, as they will say in pidgin English, there's a saying in pidgin English, them know they know person finish. In English, it basically means that you could spend a lifetime and you still wouldn't know an individual completely. So why should they wait so long to know you that much when they can get married to you and then understand you as you guys, walk your union together. So you have guys like this who would want to take you to their parent. The moment they confirm certain things, 5 months is enough. They take you to their family to introduce you, and then they're ready to get married to you. And then you have the Nigerian men who want you to be perfect before they think. I'm talking about think before they think of marrying you. These are the kind of Nigerian men who want to teach you how to walk, how to talk, how to do some things to the extreme, to the extreme. So these guys, they want you to be perfect. They want a display of perfection before they find you, fitting. And if they don't think you fit into whatever thing they're trying to sell to you, they will leave you. Now, to your question, you are on the right track given the months. Now, a lot of factors need to be considered. And one of these is that probably you're talking to a guy who really wants to get married and settle down and starts having a family, or you're talking to a guy who feels like he's behind in time, given that his friends or his peers, they are all married. So he is not ready to go into a relationship to start learning somebody or understanding somebody for months and years. And at the end of the day, probably it doesn't work out. And then he has to do the same thing over and over again. So he just wants to get married to you, and then you guys will learn yourself in the marriage. Now, the thing is that when you both are in the same country and you don't have visa restriction, then this is very good, because this basically eliminates the concept of scamming you for visa or anything, because you can actually see this individual. He's got his own job, you got your own job, he's living in your country legally. So this eliminate every form of visa, whatever you think. So, yes, on an ideal sense like this, when all these factors are present, you are moving on the right pace, given what this Nigerian guy actually wants. The fourth question, even not the final one, it says, you said in your videos that Nigerian men provide. How come mine hasn't given me anything for 2 years? Or more, where do I start with this? So the truth is, I've seen a lot of cases like this, most especially with Western women who complain about not receiving any form of monetary gift, no matter how small it is from their partner. A lady was like, I have known this guy for 8 months. He hasn't bought me a Diet Coke. I said it in one of my videos. Now, you see, one requirement most Nigerian men must pass, one test they must pass when dating a Nigerian lady, is that the Nigerian lady would ensure that they are not in any way going to end up with somebody who is tight on cash or tight fisted or what we call stingy. So if you are someone who doesn't give, no matter how little it is, the Nigerian girl you're going for would be very mindful of you. And in fact, if he discovers it's an habit, she could end the relationship completely, and find somebody who is a little bit, considerate with spending. Now, there are certain things to consider as regards this topic. If your Nigerian man has a means of generating income, that is, you are with a Nigerian man who works, he does business, at least money comes into his pockets, then you need to know certain things. We have a saying in Nigeria that goes like this: the hand where you take start relationship, now that hand the woman go follow. It basically means the way you start a relationship with a lady, it's the same way that lady would follow in most cases. all through the relationship. So if you're a woman, you've started with a guy and you know he does something and he earns money, and for whatever reason, it doesn't give you or make any monetary contribution or even buy you, even if it's an ice cream or something, you are fine with that. He would basically continue with that, except something is done and then he decides to break it. You know, that is the truth. That is the bottom truth. So, one thing I always say to a lot of women is that sometimes you need to learn from the Nigerian women when it comes to dating Nigerian men. Sometimes they are more qualified to tell you how to handle Nigerian men. Now, if a Nigerian man is dating you and he sees that, okay, at the beginning he was spoiling you with gifts, buying bags, shoes, all sort of things, clothes, and all of this, and then along the line, he drops. A lot of women would react like, "Oh, you're not doing what you used to do to me before." So this is where that this principle is, and there are a lot of men who hold tight, to this principle because they don't want to start what they can't continue. So basically, the way they start with you is that way they want to go, and maybe they make little adjustment, and this is the truth. So if you're dating a Nigerian man and he's not giving you anything, then there are certain things that could be the reason. The first one is that maybe you gave him the impression that you are Miss Independent and you can handle yourself. You don't need anybody's money. You can take care of yourself. You're a woman that is sufficient and you can handle your bills. Your Nigerian man will give you thumbs up and say, now why I like you. This is why I like you. And that's the truth. Another factor could be because you don't complain. A lot of times some women will like suck it up. They don't want to complain, so they don't look like they're. The man doesn't think like they're there for the money or stuff. And the truth of the matter is that a Nigerian woman would one day complain. She would like come to tell you that, hey, look, I want to do this and do that. I need some money from you. One way or the other, you will pull out that money. So when you don't, complain like, okay, like, what is happening? Like, at least take me out for dinner, take me out, to places. I mean, spoil me. I'm not saying you should buy me the world, and stuff like this. If you don't make some of these complaints, your Nigerian guy would think you're fine with it. And later on, when you try to revolt, it could be problematic. Now, lastly, we have a saying in Nigeria. It says, if your Nigerian man is not spending on you, then he's spending on another woman. So maybe there is another lady who is a beneficiary of his benevolent or charitable acts. And that is the truth. So if your Nigerian man hasn't given you anything for 2 years and you know he works, I would advise you to sit down and tell him, why don't you take me out for dinner? Take me out to go buy this. Okay, take me out to go get some shoes. You have to talk. You need to talk, because if not, he would think it's fine. And if you end up marrying him, you could have a problem, huge problem on your hands. So, guys, that is all I have to say for now. I would like to say thank you for your time. Thank you for listening. Hopefully, we would see ourselves during the weekend. Home Truth Nigeria, peace out.